Tesla, speaking of Tesla, is going to build a factory in Mexico City, says a government official. Well, they just can't stop going, can they? These Tesla guys? My goodness, giga this, giga that. Look at that image. Every time they do a rendering of their new, whatever their new factory is going to be, it always looks so good. It always looks so futuristic and like, look, the nature is thriving around their enormous industrial footprint.
Yeah. This looks like production.
Glowing.
Yeah.
Look at the trucks just arriving at the bay doors. Well, but on the flip side, Will, probably a couple of jobs for some people. Will, would you agree with that? Mm-hmm. Tesla's going to build an assembly factory in Mexico City, according to Representative President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. The new rumored factory apparently on top of the rumored factory in Nuevo León, Mexico. Last year, we report on Tesla's CEO Elon Musk confirming that Tesla is considering sites for a new factory in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Well, you're talking about that, what is it, NAFTA? Do they have a new name for these trade agreements? But this
the line
connection of countries here spells opportunity for someone like Tesla, and they got to take advantage of it. They can get into all kinds of funky trade stuff, Canadian-made vehicles sold in the U.S. to take advantage of XYZ incentive, Mexican vehicles for Mexico or Southern United States, or, they got accountants, dude.
I wonder why they chose Mexico. I mean, Canada was in the mix, too.
No, I think they're going to do one of each.
Oh, yeah?
Eventually, yeah. Eventually, you got to have one of each, and you can go back and forth across these borders. And
what do you think in Canada?
Canada?
In Canada, eh?
Where will you put in Canada? Well, around here. Because in the past, you've had an automotive sector that thrived in these parts, down in Oshawa, and
I can.
You have to have it along this corridor, because if these units that would end up getting made here are destined for the U.S., then you got to get them on that horseshoe. They got to go over in Windsor, or they got to go over. They pretty much kind of got to go over down that way. So you got to be around Lake Ontario, which it has been in the past. Windsor, you got a plant in Oakville, Oshawa. It's all around that Lake Ontario region.
Steel City.
I presume, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Boost up Hamilton. I don't know. I presume it would be in and around there, and you would have a large population to draw from as well for talent and for employment and so on. Anyway, it sounds like it's going to be top comment. Mexico is thick with corruption, deadly corruption from the president on down. Cheap cost of labor will be eaten by the security requirements. Other companies have figured out how to manufacture vehicles in Mexico. You have VW over there and a bunch of others. You know what else? Some of the best hockey sticks in the world are made in Mexico. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, so there's a popular hockey stick company making carbon-based sticks that manufacture some of their models in China, but then some of their high-end models have to come out of the Mexico plant.
Oh, wow.
Don't ask me why, but it's a rumor there that those are the superior ones for some reason. I also, when I think of Mexican goods, I also think of guitars, because when I was a youngster getting into playing guitar, they would say, well, you can't afford the American Strat, but you could get the Mexican Strat. And it would be a Fender, but it would just be made in Mexico instead. And people were like, that's pretty good value. It's not the same thing, obviously, but I don't know how particular people are about that in 2023. But anyway, I think Tesla will figure it out. They'll probably get all types of machine guns and police protection around there, eating corruption. I don't know.
Slippery slope.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure that they know what they're doing.
Well, congrats, Tesla.
Am I sure that they know what they're doing? No, I'm not sure. I'm sure that I'm not sure that I know what they're doing. Consumer Reports calls Ford's automated driving tech much better than Tesla's. Ever since this weather got really grimy out, my full self-driving was super wonky, dude. Like, I don't think...
No, you can't do full self-driving on
what?
Winter roads.
Yeah, but I just even mean like last night. There's no weird conditions. It's a pretty clear night, and there's nothing on the ground.
Nothing on the cameras?
Nothing. I got a car wash.
Oh, okay.
Nothing on the cameras, but still visibility. There's too many obstructions. I don't know. Is it snow that's been on the banks that was plowed a long time ago? Is it the salt that's on the road obscuring some of the lines? I'm not sure, but it's
Reflections.
definitely wonky, and it's something that should be considered with those thinking about purchasing it in certain climates. Now, granted, for us, it's basically, I don't know, a month. Since we barely had winter this year, it seems like it's just going to be February that's going to be an issue. But still, it's worth noting. Ford's automated system, I don't think I've actually used. I think they call it, is it Blue Cruise?
Is it?
I don't think I've actually used it. Tesla's autopilot, which at its core combines lane keep assist, traffic-aware cruise control to help guide a car down a highway, was once groundbreaking technology. We of course know that many different makers are doing their versions of it now, including General Motors, Mercedes-Benz. General Motors call it Super Cruise. Ford is called Blue Cruise. Mercedes has some other name. How are we supposed to remember all these names? GM's Cadillac, Toyota's Lexus. Blue Cruise has two major differences from Tesla's autopilot and most of the others. First, the Ford system is designed to allow drivers to leave their hands off the steering wheel for long periods of time while driving on highways that have been pre-mapped in detail. Second, Blue Cruise uses an infrared camera instead inside the car. Inside the car! Inside the car, Will. To monitor the driver's face and make sure they are paying attention to the road ahead. Oh, well, Tesla has those, but I don't know if it's infrared. I don't think so. GM Super Cruise, which ranks second, is the only other system tested by Consumer Reports that works this way. Ford's driver monitoring technology is one of the major reasons that Blue Cruise ranks so highly. Tesla Autopilot and most others, by contrast, can detect only the pull of a driver's hand. That's not true, because in full self-driving, I could have my hand on the wheel, but if I'm playing with the monitor too much, it'll be like, hey, man. Because when you opt in, there is something looking at you.
Yep.
But I don't know. Maybe they're in their comparison. But anyway, whatever it is that can allow you to have your hand completely off the wheel is pretty cool. Some systems that used only the weight of a hand on the steering wheel to indicate drivers' attentiveness still allow drivers to not touch the steering wheel for a worryingly long time. Hands-free for 30 seconds before the audible alert. 30 seconds is not that long. What you talking about? Listen, every single one of these companies is going to have their own implementation, their own version, and their own tech as far as sensors and things are concerned. So, Tesla's full self-driving optional feature promises to one day provide assistance in a broad range of situations, including urban driving, was not evaluated in these tests. So there's just autopilot? I don't know if that's a fair comparison. Just the stock autopilot versus Blue Cruise. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a fair comparison. It's not I don't know. Full self-driving is much different than autopilot. So, but I would like to experiment with more of these versions.
Yeah.
And hopefully going forward, I will get a chance to, so then I can do the comparison as well.